Brothers and sisters, listen carefully, because what I am about to share is urgent. January 1st is not just another day on the calendar. It is a moment of divine significance. There is a spiritual shift that is about to take place, and it will begin in your very home tonight. Many will wake up tomorrow unaware, but God is moving, and His hand is upon those who are ready. The patterns of the past, the judgments and blessings recorded in Scripture are coming to life in our day. And tonight, your house will be a crossroads, a place where heaven meets earth. You may not see it immediately, but something is stirring. Protection will be given to those who honor the Lord, while those who have ignored His voice will sense a disruption, a shaking, a wake-up call in their midst. This is the time to examine your heart, your family, your dwelling. Let me tell you, this is no ordinary event. Doors will open for blessings you never imagined. Favor will be released in corners of your home where you have long been praying in silence. But at the same time, this is a night that exposes hidden things, secrets, lies, and neglect that must be confronted. I hear the Lord saying, "Cleanse your house, sanctify your dwelling, and put away what is not of me. Let me come in." There will be signs, small at first, but unmistakable. A shift in atmosphere, a sense of peace descending, or even an awakening that cannot be ignored. Tonight, your house becomes a prophetic point of destiny. Families will experience deliverance. Hearts will be turned. And the first day of this year will not pass without a mark of God's hand in your life. Do not wait. Do not doubt. Prepare your house with prayer. Begin with thanksgiving. Speak life over every room. Declare God's protection over your family. And when the hour comes, watch and witness the move of God that will make January 1st a day you will never forget. This is urgent because the spiritual realm is always active even while we sleep. Tonight, your house is about to witness a moment of God's mercy, His power, and His divine presence. Make ready, for what is coming cannot be delayed. January 1st is not just the start of another calendar year. It is far more than the turning of a page. It is a threshold, a divine appointment, a moment where the spiritual and natural intersect in ways that are often unseen but deeply powerful. The Bible teaches us that God has set times and seasons for His purposes, and this night, this very evening, carries with it a weight of significance that many will overlook. While the world celebrates with parties, fireworks, and noise, there is a quiet, unseen reality taking place, a reality where heaven's forces are at work and the spiritual atmosphere of every home is being evaluated and adjusted. Every room, every corner, every family gathering tonight is more than just physical. It is a crossroads of destiny. And the choices made here in this place can shape the days, months, and years ahead. The house is more than bricks and walls. It is the center of life, the place where family, relationships, and daily decisions converge. God has a way of using the ordinary spaces of our lives to reveal extraordinary truths. On this night, He is moving in ways that are subtle yet undeniable. The spiritual forces of heaven are watching, ready to release favor, protection, and blessing over those who have prepared their hearts, and at the same time, to expose neglect, hidden sins, or areas that have been ignored. This is why it is so crucial to recognize the spiritual weight of this moment. The unseen is always active, even when we sleep, even when we think nothing is happening. Heaven is attentive, and God's hand is poised to move according to the readiness of those who dwell within their homes with faith and expectation. To understand the significance of this night, we must recognize that God often works through patterns, symbols, and times. Just as ancient Israel marked certain days with fasting, prayer, and offerings, the spiritual realm observes thresholds, moments of transition, and points of decision. January 1st is one such threshold. It is a point where past years conclude and a new chapter begins. Not merely in the calendar, but in spiritual terms. The atmosphere of your home tonight can determine whether the coming year will be marked by divine favor or by challenges that could have been prevented through preparation and obedience. Every declaration spoken, every prayer lifted, every act of faith performed within the walls of your home becomes a conduit for God's power to manifest. Many will wake tomorrow unaware that something extraordinary occurred in their homes. There may have been a subtle shift, a peace that was unexplainable, a breakthrough in an area that had long been stagnant, or even a warning that stirred the heart to repentance. God moves quietly but powerfully, often in ways that are not immediately visible. This is why vigilance, prayer, and spiritual awareness are essential. A house that has been prepared with intention, with thanksgiving, and with a desire for God's presence will become a fortress of blessing. Doors will open, protection will be granted, and the spiritual atmosphere will be transformed. January 1st, therefore, is a night of divine significance, a night that invites every household to stand alert and to recognize that the ordinary can become extraordinary when God chooses to intervene. The house is a sacred space, and tonight it can be the site of a heavenly encounter. Those who take this seriously, who prepare their hearts and their homes, will find that the year ahead is shaped by the choices made in this pivotal hour. Heaven is active, and God is watching. The question is, will your house be ready to receive what He is about to release? God's Word is filled with promises of blessing and protection for those who honor Him. And tonight, January 1st, is a moment where those promises can manifest in a tangible, powerful way within your home. The forces of heaven are not distant observers. They are active participants in the lives of those who call upon the name of the Lord. Your house is more than a physical structure. It is a spiritual hub, a place where divine favor can be released and where protection can take hold over every aspect of life within its walls. Those who recognize the weight of this night, who walk in obedience and faith, will find that what happens in their home tonight will shape their family, their relationships, and their year in ways that are both profound and lasting. Blessing is often misunderstood as something passive, something that happens without effort or awareness. But the Bible teaches that God's blessing flows to those who seek Him, honor Him, and prepare their hearts. Protection is not merely the absence of trouble, it is the active presence of God's power guarding and shielding every corner of your life. Tonight, as the calendar turns, God is poised to release both blessing and protection, but the key lies in readiness. A home filled with prayer, thanksgiving, and declarations of God's sovereignty becomes a magnet for His favor. The atmosphere changes. Unseen spiritual forces align, and the ordinary becomes extraordinary. This night is a time when the invisible, the realm, can touch the tangible. Angels assigned to watch over the faithful are active, circling homes, responding to faith-filled words and hearts surrendered to God. There will be a sense of peace that surpasses understanding, an unexplainable calm that settles over households, even in the midst of chaos in the world outside. It may appear subtle at first, a feeling of warmth, a sudden clarity, or a breakthrough in a long-standing struggle, but it is unmistakably the hand of God moving on behalf of those who honor Him. Protection will not only cover the family physically, but also spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. It will shield relationships, guard finances, and preserve the purpose that God has placed within every household. Yet this blessing and protection are not automatic. They require recognition, preparation, and faith. Those who take time tonight to speak life over their homes, to cover their family in prayer, and to dedicate their dwelling to the Lord will see the manifestation of God's promises in ways they may not have experienced before. Conversely, neglecting this night, dismissing it as ordinary, or allowing doubt and fear to dominate will leave doors open to challenges that could have been prevented. The Bible warns us to be vigilant, to recognize the moments appointed by God, and to act in accordance with His will. This is why it is crucial to understand that blessing and protection are interconnected. You cannot separate one from the other. As favor is released over your home, protection follows. As doors of opportunity swing open, a hedge of safety is placed around those who honor the Lord. Tonight, every room, every space, and every moment becomes an opportunity for God to demonstrate His love, power, and faithfulness. What happens in your home tonight can ripple outward, affecting your family for the entire year ahead, providing guidance, peace, and provision in ways that words cannot fully capture. January 1st is more than a date. It is a divine invitation. It is a chance to enter the year under the favor of God, shielded by His protection and aligned with His purposes. Those who prepare, who acknowledge the hand of God, and who declare His presence in their home will experience a supernatural encounter. Blessing and protection will converge, shaping not only this night, but the destiny of the days to come. The question is simple. Will you open the doors of your house to receive what God is ready to release, or will you let this moment pass as ordinary? Tonight, make the choice and watch as heaven's forces move in your favor. Tonight, January 1st, will not only be a night of blessing and protection, it will also be a night of revelation. God moves in mysterious ways, and often His hand is most active where things are hidden. The Bible is clear. God brings light into darkness, exposes what is secret, and shines truth into places that have long been ignored. Your home, your family, your life. There are areas that even you may not fully understand, corners of your heart and dwelling that have remained in shadow. But tonight, the veil will be lifted. Hidden things, long concealed, will be brought to the surface, not to condemn, but to awaken, correct, and align with God's purpose. The spiritual realm is alive and active, and God often uses nights like this to reveal what has been covered. It could be a hidden sin, a secret worry, a fear, a broken relationship, or even a neglected calling that has been lying dormant. These things may have remained unnoticed because life is busy, because the world is loud, or because the heart has been too distracted to see. But God is saying, tonight, nothing remains hidden. The quiet of this night is a mirror to the soul, a spotlight on the unseen, and an invitation to respond. Those who are vigilant and prayerful will notice the stirrings of the Spirit, the subtle impressions, and the nudges to make right what has been wrong for far too long. Revelation in the home can take many forms. It may come through a sudden insight, a dream, a word, a vision, or even a moment of clarity during prayer. Sometimes it is gentle. Other times it is like a thunderclap that shakes the foundations. But always it is purposeful. God does not reveal to frighten or shame. He reveals to bring freedom, healing, and transformation. Tonight, your home may become a stage for spiritual uncovering, where what has been hidden in plain sight is suddenly exposed. Family dynamics, financial struggles, personal doubts, and unresolved conflicts may come into focus, giving you a chance to address them before the year begins. This night of revelation is not just for correction, it is also for protection. Hidden dangers, unseen spiritual attacks, and secret schemes of the enemy will be exposed so that they cannot take root in the year ahead. God is lifting the veil, and with every hidden thing that comes to light, there is an opportunity to respond in faith. This is why prayer, discernment, and spiritual vigilance are essential tonight. Speak over your home, cover every member of your household in prayer, and ask God to reveal the things that need attention. Do not fear what is revealed. Embrace it as an opportunity for transformation. The power of revelation is transformative. When hidden things are brought to light, walls are torn down, hearts are opened, and lives are redirected toward God's purpose. Families will experience breakthroughs, old wounds will begin to heal, and burdens that have been carried in secret will be lifted. The unseen becomes seen, and what was dormant begins to move. The spiritual atmosphere of your home is being prepared for this unveiling. For God is about to make manifest what has long been concealed. Tonight, your house becomes more than a dwelling. It becomes a spiritual laboratory, a place of awakening, and a site of divine revelation. The hidden things are being exposed, not to condemn, but to free. The Lord is drawing back the veil, shining His light into the dark corners, and offering a fresh start. How you respond will determine the course of your year. Do not ignore the stirring, the impressions, or the sense of urgency. Receive the revelation, act upon it, and watch as your home, your family, and your life are transformed by the power of God's truth. Tonight, January 1st, will not only be a night of blessing, protection, and revelation, it will also be a night of spiritual shift. There is a movement occurring in the unseen realms that will touch the natural world beginning in your home. Spiritual shifts are subtle, often imperceptible at first, but they are powerful enough to redirect the course of a life, a family, or even a household. The atmosphere of your home is not static. It responds to faith, prayer, and the presence of God. And tonight that atmosphere is being transformed. What has been stagnant will begin to move. What has been heavy with burden, confusion, or fear will begin to lift. The unseen forces that govern blessing and favor, peace and protection are aligning, and the first moments of this new year will carry a shift that you cannot ignore. A spiritual shift is never accidental. It is often the culmination of preparation, expectation, and divine timing. The Lord works through seasons, moments, and thresholds, and January 1st is one of those thresholds. Your home, your family, and your life are standing at the edge of a new season, and the decisions you make, the prayers you lift, and the faith you exercise tonight will determine how fully you enter into this new reality. Some will feel a subtle change, a quiet peace settling into rooms that have known tension. Others will experience something more dramatic, a breakthrough, a sudden clarity, or even an awakening that shifts the hearts and minds of everyone in the household. The spiritual shift that begins tonight is designed to carry momentum into the year ahead. The unseen realm is highly responsive to faith-filled actions, prayers spoken in truth, declarations of God's promises, and hearts fully surrendered will accelerate the movement of this shift. Conversely, neglect, distraction, and doubt can slow its effect. This is why tonight requires vigilance, spiritual sensitivity, and intentionality. The shift is not only about change, but about alignment. God is aligning your home with His purposes, creating an atmosphere where blessing can flow freely, where protection can be fully effective, and where revelation and insight can take root. The shift is like a gentle wind that turns the sails of a ship. It may start quietly, but it carries the power to redirect the course of the journey. A spiritual shift is also relational. It affects the connections within your home. Old patterns of strife, misunderstanding, and division may begin to break apart as God's presence moves in. Hearts that have been distant, resistant, or hardened may soften, opening the way for reconciliation, peace, and unity. Family dynamics that have been tense or strained can suddenly experience a release of grace and understanding. Even in situations where conflict seems permanent, the shift of God's Spirit can change everything, turning what has been a barrier into a bridge of blessing. Tonight, your home is a stage for this divine movement. The spiritual shift will affect more than what is seen. It will touch the emotional, mental, and spiritual realities of every person within its walls. It will prepare your house. Behold, for the days, weeks, and months ahead, setting the tone for the new year. The shift is intentional, strategic, and designed to move you closer to God's purpose. Those who recognize it, who respond in faith, and who cultivate God's presence within their home will see the full measure of this movement. Do not underestimate what is happening tonight. The shift may begin quietly, but it will not be silent. You will feel it. Your home will feel different. The hearts and minds of those within it will respond. Opportunities, favor, and divine encounters are poised to enter, and the spiritual shift will make it possible for God's hand to move unhindered. Embrace it, prepare for it, and step into this new year fully aligned with the momentum God is releasing. Your house is about to become a center of divine movement, and this night marks the beginning of a season that cannot be ignored. Tonight, January 1st, is not a night to be taken lightly. It is a night that calls for preparation, intentionality, and spiritual readiness. God is about to move, and the question is whether your home, your family, and your life will be ready to receive what He is about to release. Preparation is more than tidying your house or making resolutions. It is a spiritual alignment, a setting of the heart, a deliberate turning toward God and His purposes. It is the act of creating space for His presence, of opening the doors of your home and your life so that heaven can touch earth in ways that are powerful, transformative, and lasting. The call to preparation is urgent because spiritual realities respond to intentional action. The forces of heaven and earth are always at work, and God honors those who act in faith. Preparation begins in the heart with humility, surrender, and a willingness to align with His will. It continues in the home, in the relationships within it, and in the atmosphere of every room. Tonight, the prayers you pray, the declarations you speak, and the intentions you set are not empty rituals. They are powerful instruments that position your household to receive blessing, protection, and revelation. God is calling for readiness, and readiness begins with intentional preparation. To prepare is to sanctify your space. It is to clear away the distractions, the clutter, and the spiritual debris that can block God's move. It is to invite His presence with expectation, to speak life over every corner of your home, to cover your family in prayer, and to dedicate each room to His glory. This is not a superficial act. It is a declaration that your home belongs to God, that His authority reigns, and that His will is being established in every area of your life. The preparation of your house becomes a prophetic act, a statement to heaven that you are ready for His move, and a positioning of your household to enter a new season of favor, peace, and divine alignment. Preparation also involves the people within your home. Relationships must be acknowledged, hearts must be aligned, and forgiveness extended where necessary. Tonight, God may highlight areas of conflict, neglect, or misunderstanding, and He calls for a response. To prepare is to reconcile, to speak truth, and to create an atmosphere of unity that allows His Spirit to move freely. The prayers of a household in agreement are powerful, and the Lord is ready to respond to homes that are united in faith, expectation, and obedience. Spiritually, preparation is about posture. It is about standing in readiness, watching, and being sensitive to the movements of God. The unseen realm is active, and spiritual forces are responding to your attentiveness, your devotion, and your declaration of faith. When a home is prepared, the blessings of God flow more freely, protection is established, Hide, and revelations are revealed, and the shift of His Spirit moves unhindered. Conversely, a home that ignores this call, that enters the night with distraction, doubt, or neglect, risks missing the fullness of what God is ready to release. Tonight, every household has a choice to prepare and position themselves for the extraordinary, or to remain passive and allow the night to pass as ordinary. God is calling not just for physical preparation, but for spiritual readiness. The prayers you lift, the words you speak, and the faith you exercise tonight will set the trajectory for your year. It is a divine invitation to step into a new season aligned with His purposes, a chance to establish your home as a place of blessing, protection, and revelation. Do not ignore this call. Make preparation tonight a priority, and watch as God's presence fills your home, your life, and your family with His power, His peace, and His favor. Tonight, January 1st, is not merely a night on the calendar. It is a night of prophetic destiny, a night where the choices made in your home can set the course for your life, your family, and your year ahead. God has a plan, a purpose, and a divine design for every household that opens its doors to Him. And this night is a threshold through which that destiny can begin to unfold. Every prayer spoken, every declaration of faith, every act of obedience becomes a thread in the tapestry of God's plan, weaving together blessings, protection, revelation, and guidance for the year to come. Your home tonight is more than a dwelling. It is a spiritual launch pad, a center of divine intervention, a place where heaven and earth meet in ways that can redirect the course of your family's future. Prophetic destiny is not something that happens by chance. It is often the result of preparation, faith, and attentiveness to God's voice. The Lord is always active, always moving, always working behind the scenes to fulfill His purposes. But He honors those who recognize His timing, those who position themselves to receive, and those who take their role seriously in stewarding the spiritual atmosphere of their home. Tonight, God is calling you to step into that role fully, to act with intention, and to acknowledge that what happens within your household can ripple outward in ways that affect not only your family, but your community, and even the course of your personal calling. Prophetic destiny involves alignment with God's will. It is about positioning yourself and your home so that His presence can manifest without hindrance. The prayers you pray tonight, the words of life you speak over your family, the acts of surrender and obedience, all prepare the soil for God's promises to take root. The unseen realm responds to faith, and heaven itself moves on behalf of those who are ready. Tonight, your home can become a place where favor, guidance, and breakthrough are not only experienced, but are embedded into the very foundation of your year. The destiny of your household begins in the choices made at this very hour. This is also a night of discernment. God will reveal paths, show hidden opportunities, and direct the steps of those who are watching and listening. Some doors that have been closed will suddenly open. Some obstacles will begin to dissolve. Some decisions that seemed impossible will be illuminated with clarity. Prophetic destiny is often about timing, and tonight the timing is critical. The spiritual currents of this night can set the trajectory of your family's year, your personal growth, and even your life purpose. To ignore this moment is to risk missing the momentum God is releasing, while to embrace it fully is to step into a season of acceleration, favor, and divine alignment. Tonight, the prophetic destiny of your home is tied to action. It is tied to faith expressed in prayer, declarations, and obedience. God is ready to move, but His movement requires a prepared vessel, a household that has set aside distractions, embraced His presence, and surrendered to His plan. Every blessing released, every protection established, every revelation uncovered, and every shift experienced tonight contributes to the fulfillment of His purpose. Your home is the epicenter of this movement, the starting point for a year that can be marked by breakthrough, peace, and supernatural alignment with God's will. Do not underestimate the significance of this night. Prophetic destiny is being written, and your household is a part of that story. What happens tonight will echo through the weeks, months, and even years to come. This is a night to stand in faith, to declare God's promises over every member of your family, and to position your home as a place of divine intervention. The Lord is inviting you to step fully into your destiny, to receive what He is ready to release, and to walk into the new year with confidence, expectation, and alignment with His purposes. Tonight is the beginning, the threshold, and the moment where prophetic destiny is made real within your home.